All right, welcome back. Again, do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Trump announces 100% tariff on foreign-made movies. More so, Trump versus Nollywood, we should call it, because I think Nollywood is the highest volume of movies made outside of the United States. So, but let me look. I'm going to read this report on CNN. It says President Donald Trump said in a Truth Social post on Monday he will be imposing a 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. Trump did not specify when and how the tariff could be enacted. If Trump follows through with his threat, it would mark the first time he's essentially imposed a tariff on a service rather than a good. The president initially threatened a 100% tariff on foreign-produced movies in May, arguing that other countries offer tax incentives that have drawn filmmakers abroad. In his post on Monday, he singled out California, saying the state has been particularly hard hit. The state, meanwhile, has proposed and put in effect many tax incentives, as have other American cities. Hollywood was completely caught off guard when Trump first previewed the tariff in May. On first blush, it's shocking and would represent a virtually complete halt of production, one industry insider told CNN at the time. But in reality, he has no jurisdiction to do this, and it's too complex to enforce. That's what I'm thinking. American. American.
Well, like that, next part when it comes to things like this, I mean, you are a known quantity when it comes to the entertainment industry, even a pioneer, the Nigerian American highway there. So really, the report is so comprehensive enough to let you know that it may be a bluff, because that is characteristic of our man of history.
Yeah. Hold on, sir. So is it American actors and directors generally prefer to work close to home? But the fact is, it's cheaper for Hollywood studios to pay for everyone to get on planes, pay for hotels, because the cost of labor, lack of rebates, and the ability to make things overseas is infinitely cheaper. Jay Shores, vice president of United Talent Agencies, told CNN in May. Now, before we jump too far, a vice president predicts there will be a government shutdown as Trump signals is close to Gaza peace plan. That's some of the headlines. Another one says White House meeting on government shutdown yields no progress. Another one says Trump scores $21.5 million YouTube settlement over account suspension dispute. Anyway, what do you have to say about some of these headlines, sir?
Well, number one, let me quickly point out the fact that the so-called $21 million YouTube settlement.
24.5.
Yeah, 24.5. Technically, people will think, oh, it's some judicial victory. No, it's because when some accounts are taken down, the what's it called? Revenue accrual that should have gone to the owner of that account is often kept safely for them. It's the practice with Facebook. It's the practice everywhere. In fact, if your account is monetized and you have not been able to get, a proper handle on how the thing works, when eventually it was whatever has been kept there for you as duly yours would always be paid to you ultimately. That said, let's take it from the fact of imposition of a tariff on movies. Well, you identified Nollywood as being the second largest movie industry in the world. I do not know.
There's something I want to tell you that might add context, sir.
Right.
So the CNN is saying movie ticket sales are down in the United States as the number of major releases hitting theaters has tumbled since the pandemic, and consumers have shifted their viewing habits to streaming platforms to watch at home. U.S. box office gross topped out at just under $12 billion in 2018 before nose diving to just over $2 billion in 2020. That's a lot.
That's good.
When many theaters were shut down because of COVID, although theaters have rebounded, the number of releases is about half of what it was in 2019. The total domestic box office gross hasn't eclipsed $9 billion since. So I just wanted to share that so that you can know where we're
So,
going here.
number one, the layman economic implication of that is that Donald Trump's economic policy has really affected every individual, every pocket in the United States. What you
Mhm.
are seeing there, the downward trend in the accruable revenue from movie theaters and what have you, is coming directly from the fact that Americans' purchasing power has been
Mm,
directly hit, badly hit. That is
badly.
badly hit. And really, when you look at the latest opinion polls on how Donald Trump is faring, he is underwater. He is underwater. Even on his immigration policy, his approval from the best of polling agencies, some of the best polling agencies, is in the 30, is in the neighborhood of 30 something percent. So he knows. And each time it looks like, oh, the reality is dawning that some group of Olodos are running the show in the United States. What they want to do is to bring out another trick from their bag and then just dangle something like they are busy. They are so busy doing nothing. Because honestly, if you are not somebody who is acting with with this disposition that, oh, I got the people's back, that you are just on a spray for vendetta and vengeance. And then just because, oh, an Obama, an African American is the president, and then that tripped you, me too can be president. You get there without any workable plan. This would happen. This would happen. And even as you and I speak, the struggle is on. As you and I are on this production, on this show, leading democratic leaders have been invited to the White House, and they are having meeting, having negotiation, partly with President Donald Trump as we speak. And this is how you would know that this guy is only impulsive and sometimes just want to, latch on to whatever comes to his mind. He's also, showing that aspect that well-known psychologists have hinted on. An adult, an old man that is trapped in the mind of a little child, and everybody gets into trouble because of that. So somebody who said a few days ago that, oh, they will allow for a situation in which the entire thing will unravel, no meeting with the Democrats, no meeting across the party line. Now, he's in panic mode already, but he will make a bold face about it because he can spin through anything. And people are out there because he said it long before now. He could stand in the middle of wherever in New York, Manhattan, shoot at somebody and nothing will happen. He gets away with everything. And so, with that kind of crowd, they are not even able to relate with the fact that, oh, this man is toying with so much and is messing with so much, and everything is really cascading around us all. They should hold him to account, but nobody is strong enough to want to do that. I think this negotiation that is going on with Chuck Schumer and Kim Jeffrey and all of them, the Democratic caucus and the leadership of the Congress, I think it should be able to really come up with something for all of us so that the system does not shut down. That said, something unprecedented is going on. More than 800 top military brass, one-star generals to four-star generals, are being pulled from their stations all over the globe. And according to economic experts, this in cost is going to add a multi-million dollar bill to the deficit that we already experienced in the United States. Talk of accommodation, talk of, and then they are wondering why is he bringing all these top military brass under the same roof? The security implication. We cannot speculate too much around issues like this, other than to continue to point out that these are unusual times. These are unusual times, and whatever the results they were hoping to get, it's not really coming through. It's not really adding up. You see the leader of the so-called free world coming before the United Nations last week and then going off and insulting world leaders to their face. You see the same man saying, "Oh, he's been criticized by the president of Colombia. I am revoking his visa to come to the United States." It's almost like go it alone policy. Go it alone in in tariff negotiations or impositions, which is needless in the first place. So that is what you get. But succinctly put, let's identify the fact that this imposition of 100% tariff on what's it called, movies, yes, could be, because I do not know if indeed Nollywood is bigger than Bollywood, the one from the movie industry in India. I do not know if it's bigger than that of.
It's one of the two. It's one of the two. They are not as big as Hollywood in revenue, but in volume wise, it's either number 2 or 3. It's one of the two.
Yeah, because the way the demographics I'm looking at, unfortunately, is this: the population that supports the industry in a place like India and China. Right. That's why because you also know that Nigerians have a way of exaggerating crowd and figures, just like Donald Trump. I mean, my crowd is bigger than yours, kind of thing. Yes, Nigeria. Yes, we have the population. I mean, over 60-something million Yoruba people, over maybe 50-something million Igbo people. I mean, and then there is no homogeneous outside population now in Nigeria, because what we know is that there are more than 300 nations fused together in the northern part of Nigeria. And all these demographics, yes, they appear that they can sustain that claim that Nollywood is the second largest. The second largest.
To your point, sir. Right. Nollywood is actually consumed all over the Caribbean and all around the world. But back to specifically what we're talking about in terms of production, Nigerians they're pushing out volume, not necessarily quality, but they're pushing out a lot more volume than probably Bollywood. In terms of consumption, you may be right. After assessing the consumption of Nigerian Nollywood movie in the Caribbean, they're still not. I don't think they're still as big as the Indian population, but that's just to add some context.
Yes, thank you very much. And when we relate amongst ourselves as a people of African descent, descent in the diaspora, you also see that we hardly bond with the mindset or the thought process of our our brothers all around us. Yeah, their mindset, they are thinking. I mean, if you are telling them, "Oh, embrace the tradition and culture as people of African," they're looking at us. What? Excuse me, what are you talking about? And you just feel like, okay, we are not really bonding there. But that said,
sorry, I've confirmed it. By output, Nollywood is bigger than Hollywood, only by output, not by revenue.
That's right. Thank you very much. So that said, by implication, this war is coming home to everybody. Everybody is getting the breakfast. This could be a deliberate target at, okay, is this how Africa is going to rise again? Oh, so Africa is going to rise. This is an opportunity. Boom, let us give it to them there and shoot them there. And you can't expect anything better. You can't expect anything more rational from somebody who does not hide the fact that he is appealing to all those primordial, some dark age mentality about the person and the place of the African. May God help all of us. But whatever is dishing out to everybody around the world, understand that we also are drinking of the same tough cup in the United States here. Finally, maybe some vista of hope that, okay, we can't give up completely on Donald Trump. That announcement that, oh, if Ukraine goes for it, they can always maybe win hands down against Russia. And Russia retorting, oh, maybe he doesn't know, his position will change again and all that. The excitement in the air. But even today, he's put something on the table for Netanyahu in the White House. And everybody is expecting that there could be some peace deal. But he's also saying, Netanyahu is saying that it's either Hamas and Palestinians embrace the option of peace being offered or being pushed, being sponsored by Donald Trump, or they would do something the hard way. The hard way, is it a matter of total annihilation? What is anybody expecting? But I'm not one of those who will be saying that, oh, everything happening, this rumor of war and what have you, is really pointing in the fact that the world may soon come to an end. Not so fast. It's a rational thing to want to look at it, that the dynamics, the balancing of power and the contending forces will even themselves out, and then maybe in our time we will have peace in this world. Thank you. Hello?
Amen. Sorry about that. I was doing amen. I was muted.
Okay.
All right, everybody, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We'll be right back.